excited to be filming this video because I've been holding off kind of sharing how I plan out my weeks with you guys until I kind of had it locked down. And when I quit my job last year, I told myself I really want to get into becoming a full content creator, really diving into it. And to do that, I needed to set myself up for success. And with doing that, I needed to buy a planner and I needed to stick to it. And my biggest thing in the past is I've bought planners, but I haven't necessarily, I think, used them to, help me. I've kind of just used them, got bored of them, and then kind of went on to not using them. And this year I told myself if I'm really going to stick to a schedule and stick to a routine, I needed to buy a planner and I needed to use it. And I absolutely love the one I bought. This is just like one that I bought at the beginning of the year from Walmart. And the reason I really love this planner is because, it has the days, so you can write in stuff for the days. It has priorities, so you can say, this is my priority for the day and what I want to get done. And then on these sides are kind of just empty spaces to write, a task list, and then down here it has care, connect, and focus. And I really am another type of person who loves to put tasks down and check them off when they're done. I think there's just something so satisfying with being able to do that. Now today I'm going to set up this, week's kind of a schedule for myself, because on Mondays I know what my priority is for that day. It is editing and scheduling. I do have set days for myself, so Mondays are always editing and scheduling. Fridays are always Instagram days, which mean, creating posts, creating reels, and those would be my days to post on Instagram, or if I have shorts and reels, I will upload them both to Instagram and YouTube Shorts, and that's kind of how I go from there. But it's also my day to plan out what I'm going to be posting. I'm somebody also who likes to have things ready to go rather than trying to figure it out that day. So Fridays have become the days where I sit down and I try to write out at least 2 posts, get them done, and then kind of have an idea in my head of what I would like the picture to be. And then I like to pre-record reels and shorts, just so then I'm not recording it that day, editing that day, and then posting it the same day. I just like to have things prepared. For me, just having things prepared keeps me more on track than trying to do it the same day. And I feel like when I try to do it the same day, I definitely get burnt out more. So this is just works for me. You do whatever works for you. And then Saturdays are always my content planning day. So that's the day I actually get this cute little notebook and I have spots that I say, okay, here are all my ideas for upcoming podcasts. Here are all my ideas that I write down for potential vlog ideas. And then recently too, shorts and reel ideas, anything that kind of pops in my head that I'm like, ooh, I could definitely do that. I write it down. Again, I am somebody who I love to write things down. I love to jot things down. I also have a spot in my phone, my note spot, that I have a folder that says vlog ideas, and I have, vlog series, so I jot down everything that I would love to do as vlog ideas. I do that for my podcast, my body positivity journey, anything that pops in my head, I write it somewhere, either in my phone or in this book. And on Sundays, I do usually my weekly planning. Yesterday was more of just a rest day, so I decided we're just going to do it on Monday. It's okay. And then on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are always days that are going to be filming days. So Tuesdays have become my body positivity journey vlog days. So I always am vlogging about that journey or a topic on that journey on Tuesdays. Wednesdays are my podcast days, so I'm either recording a podcast episode or I'm writing out and researching the topic for my next episode to get it ready to record. And on Thursdays are always my vlog days. Now, my vlog days do change up depending on what days I am actually doing something. So kind of going into this next week of planning, I'm actually going to be recording going to a Blackhawks game. And that is actually on Friday into Saturday. So I could still have a plan for Thursday if I wanted to. But if I really wanted to just relax on Thursday, I know that on Friday I'm going to be vlogging. So I always just like to have a routine, a schedule to kind of follow. So kind of how I set it up again is I'm putting my priorities to say what I'm doing. And for the specific days where I'm doing videos, I am putting down exactly what videos I am recording. So then I am not guessing. I know exactly what's going to be recorded. I know exactly what I'm going to talk about, and I don't have to worry about it. And then for the videos that I already have scheduled for that week, I actually do write them here to say, okay, these are the 2 videos that I got recorded and scheduled, and they are posted and people can now view them. Now, if I do have a podcast one, I will put it right here. But for right now, I'm kind of doing podcasting twice a month because I just don't want to feel burnt out. In the future, if I batch more episodes and I have more to put out, I will actually start doing every Wednesday. But for right now, I'm just going slow and steady at my own pace, and that's what works for me. And then I kind of want to show you what I do on this side. So of course I put my tasks to mark off if I've done them. Here I kind of do my editing list to say, this is what I need to edit, this is what I need to get done. And here I kind of use as a free space. Sometimes I do, real ideas. What I have here is actually places and videos that I want to put in a card on YouTube to say, hey, this is referencing this video if you want to go back and you want to watch it. And I just have loved this setup. It has worked so well for me. And I just use the big calendar too. Red means like traveling, birthdays, blues are vlogs and podcasts. And I kind of like to write in the calendar when I know that a specific video is ready to go and it's published and scheduled and it's like gonna be put out there, because I'm somebody who, when I write something down, I hate if I have to scratch it out or white it out. I'm very particular about that. So once I have something scheduled, I also do that for like the next week. So kind of going into, April 8th through the 14th, I do have my 3 videos actually coming out. So I will go on YouTube and I will write down the exact name of each video and put it in. I don't do that until I have them scheduled or posted, because again, I hate scratching things out, whiting things out. That's just not for me. So what I actually do is I also use Google Calendar. And for me, Google Calendar is like my rough draft, and it's where I can put all the ideas for all the videos I want to get done for that month. And then if like I'm switching things around or moving things around, obviously if you've worked with Google Calendar, you can just take one thing and move it to a different spot. So at the beginning of each month, I like to put all the video ideas for that month out, put them in the areas or the days that I want them to go out. And then again, if I need to move stuff around, I will shift stuff around. So my calendar looks like this. Tuesdays have all my vlogs, Thursdays have all my vlogs, my 2 podcasts, episodes are scheduled. So then really, if I have to take something and I'm like, I really don't want that there, I can just click it and move it to a different spot. I absolutely love this as just like my rough draft to like get down all the ideas and all the videos that I would like to get published and put out for that month. And again, if I have to shift it, I shift it. So again, this is kind of like my first like rough draft to kind of get everything down and organized of how I'd like to do it. And then once I have things that I'm like, these are definitely going to be scheduled, then I will put it in this calendar. But it's nice to just go back and look at all the work that I did. And what I actually started doing too is if I post something on Instagram, I, do a reel or short or a post, I will put that on my calendar the day I posted it as well. And those ones are in black. So black is for Instagram, blue is for vlogs or podcasts, and red is for birthdays, traveling, just personal, like doctor appointments, anything that I can look at and say, okay, this is important for me to know. And I just love being able to go back from, month to month and really see all of the work I did. Something else I do with my planner is at the beginning of every month, I like to put how many followers I have on YouTube and where I'm at in my podcast. For me, it's just a way to say, look how far you've come from last month. And from like the beginning of the year, I started at 103 for my subscribers on YouTube, and going into April, I have 114. And even with my podcast, I went from 533 listens to 614. And I just love looking at it just to see kind of like also how I progressed over time. And it just warms my heart and makes me feel so good and so excited. So I'm going to take a minute and I am going to start jotting down my, schedule for this week, and then I will definitely share it with you guys. And also something that I do is if like something over here is not checked off, I allow myself to bring it forward to the next week. I used to get really upset with myself if I had something that I wanted to have scheduled or like planned out to do and I didn't do it, and I would like allow myself to get upset and be like, you really need to stick to what you're doing. But kind of like Thursday, I ended up getting my period because it's that time of the month for me. And I was kind of dealing with not feeling good, and I was supposed to vlog that day. Well, I just didn't do it because I was taking care of myself. And if I really wanted to, I could move that forward and say, hey, I can film this, this coming up Thursday. Or on Friday, because I also wasn't feeling my best as well, dealing with my body, I didn't write 2 posts or I didn't do 2 reels. I can just move that forward and say, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. And if I don't get it done, I don't get it done. I only get things done when I know I don't have something ready. I'm very ahead on videos and I like being ahead on videos. So then if there's a week that something happens or I'm busy or I don't have time, I have something already like ready to go, ready to push out. But for me, I just love sticking to a schedule again, being able to really figure out what I need to get done and kind of go from there. And this also helps me say, this is what I'm doing for that day, and that's the only thing I'm focusing on. Now, on days where I do film videos, I will absolutely edit and schedule if I have time to do that. But other than that, I have my dedicated days, Monday to get things done, or even on Fridays, Saturdays, or Sunday, if I have extra time and I feel like doing it, I will edit and schedule videos that day as well. But just having these days scheduled for me and say, this is my priority for the day, has helped me just stay very productive and very focused on what I need to get done. Like I said, I know what I'm focusing on that day. That's the one thing I need to do. And it feels so good to say, check, I got that done. And if I have extra time, I can do other things. If not, that one thing is done and I don't have to worry about anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this week's schedule, and then I will talk to you once we are done and ready to go. So now I just got done planning out my whole week. So it goes from being blank to completely filled. I plan out every single day, the content, traveling, and then I did my editing list of the videos I like to get edited in that order. Again, this area I put like links I need to put in videos I'm referencing, and what time in that video it's referenced. I will also put it in my descriptions just so it's easier to find. And then I just do my tasks. Again, I just take everything from this side, I put it over here, and I say this is what I'm filming, packing for the weekend, my weekly planning, doing my content ideas, and again, being able to just check them off just makes me feel so happy. And then I also did go to the big calendar and put in the videos for the week. And because I want this video to go out before my Blackhawks video, I actually just went into Google and I added it in to here, and I moved my Blackhawks one to next month. Again, this just has worked really well for me since I quit my job last year. Going into this year, I told myself if I really want to become a full content creator, I needed to create a schedule and a routine that worked for me, that kept me on like what I needed to do. And finding this planner again at Walmart super cheap was just amazing. Just being able to plan everything out, have my days like just being to prioritize every single day, saying this is what I'm working on, this is my main focus, has been so incredibly helpful for me. And I think for anybody who is just trying to really figure out what you want to do, and maybe you're not a planner person, I do recommend doing Google Calendar, just because again, you can put on the calendar like what you're wanting to do and move stuff around if that works for you. And like I said, I just like doing both. My Google Calendar is more like my rough draft to say, hey, this is what my plan for the month would look like if I, stick to it. Obviously, I can move stuff around to work for me. If video ideas or I vlog something that I want to come out before the next vlog that I'm going to film, then I just move it around again to say this is where I kind of like to do it. At the beginning of each month, like I said, I love to just plan out my full month of content to say this is the ideas I have, this is where I'm going to put them in, and this is how this month is going to be structured, and this is what it's going to look like. Again, just to kind of help keep me on track, help me like know what is going out, because again, I hate guessing to figure out what I'm going to be putting out. I like to have a schedule, I like to know what's going out, and I like to already have ideas for my videos. There are days that I do just pick up my camera and I vlog things and I talk about things that, when we go out and we do things that I'm not like necessarily have in my mind as, oh, I'm going to film that, but it just kind of leaves it open to say you can create and do whatever you want, but these are the ideas that you have. And then once I know that I have them filmed, I have them edited and scheduled, they go in my calendar. And just having this, every single day to say what I'm doing, having my tasks to kind of keep me on point, even creating my editing list to know what I need to edit and what I need to get done has just been so amazing, just having these open spots. I'm going to try to find this exact calendar for you guys to put it in the descriptions because I really like this one. I've gone through a lot of different types of planners and stuff like that, and I think that just having something just simple for me just really works, and being able to kind of figure it out myself has really worked. That's why I kind of held back on doing this video for so long, because I wanted to make sure I had enough time to do it, work on it, and then be able to share it with you guys once I had it kind of locked down. I think whatever way you plan your weeks is, you know, the way you're going to do it. Do whatever kind of works for you. This just kind of works for me. If it's something that you like and you're like, I would really like just something kind of simple and plain to start off with, I recommend just kind of doing it how I'm doing it. I did at one point have a planner that did like every single hour of the day, and I didn't like that because I just got distracted very easily. And again, this is kind of why I plan out every single day, so that I'm not getting distraction. I know what I'm doing and I'm kind of sticking to it, because I feel like if I don't have a plan, I'm kind of all over the place, and I feel like there could be a lot of people who feel that way as well. So this is kind of just what's working for me, and maybe it'll help you kind of figure out what you need to do, or maybe how you can like structure your weeks. Again, I think there are a lot of people just like me who just share how we do our weekly plans and how we're planning out our weeks to just kind of help somebody else find that, you know, weekly type of plan that's going to work for them. But really, again, you're going to find what works for you, and you're just going to roll with it. I think maybe just having these ideas out there to say, okay, this is kind of how these people are doing it. Maybe I can take little bits and pieces from what everybody's doing and figure out what works best for me. I have always just figured it out as I go. Again, I am a planner girly. I love having a planner. I love having a physical thing to look at every single day and say, this is my plan. Again, Google is just kind of my rough draft before I really dedicate it and put it in here. You know, just a place to put my ideas, to figure out what I'd like to put out and kind of go from there. So I hope this was helpful for anybody who's trying to kind of figure out what's going to work for them. Once again, I will say it, you're going to find what works for you. I think you can definitely take bits and pieces from everybody's plans of how they plan their week, but ultimately at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the beginning of the month, whenever you start, whatever works for you is going to work for you. And what works for me might not work for many people, but it works for me, and it might work for others and it might not, and that's okay. You just figure out what works for you and kind of go from there and continuously do it. I am so proud of myself for, you know, setting up this schedule and continuously working on it, and it has made me get a lot more stuff done. I'm, you know, very successful with how I'm doing this, and I'm able to focus better. I'm able to produce videos better. I'm able to, you know, figure out where I need to prioritize my time, and I just feel very successful going into month 4 of this year, you know, and sticking to a schedule that works for me. So hopefully you guys can find what works for you. I just kind of wanted to share what works for me, and thanks for hanging out with me today. Well, I went over my weekly planning schedule, and I will talk to you guys again real soon in the next vlog. Bye.